funny here. I never saw the original until, I think, about 2003. I've seen it on a laptop overseas somewhere. And, a pal had to show me. He's like, "You never seen the original Tron? You never seen Tron?" I said, "Oh, no, I never heard of it." And he goes, "Oh, I dig this." So we sat back and watched it. I just thought it was a trip. Well, it was like nothing I'd ever seen before. Especially at that point, it being, 20 years old, it still, played so well.
Question for the filmmakers and writers. It's great to see a Tron sequel that actually brings back Flynn and Alan Bradley. Just curious, why didn't you want to also use the Laurie and Yori character?
Our story is a father-son story. It's a story of Sam Flynn in search of his father who disappeared into the Encom mainframe 20 years before. So, when you make a movie, you have to kind of make difficult choices on what you're going to focus on. And for this story, we chose to focus on the story of Sam and Kevin Flynn, as well as the kind of instrumental role of Tron and Alan Bradley in that story. But the character of played by Cindy Morgan is in the Tron universe. However, just not in this particular story of Tron Legacy.
Hi, it's a question for Joe. How hard was it to update the look and the whole atmosphere of Tron without being retro, but without making the original look too inferior in terms of technology? And how was it working with the 3D?
Well, the work that Stephen did with Sydney and Mobius is just phenomenal design work. And for me, I come from a design background. I feel like that's one reason why the film, you can still sit down and watch it today, even though the computer graphics are simple compared to what we're able to do now. The design work is so strong, the imagination is so vivid and vibrant. It transcends kind of time. So it was quite a task, to sit down and start to look at, what group of designers I could assemble that I felt were going to kind of be the next generation of those amazing designers. And it was I had a great time assembling people from the automotive industry, the world of architecture, people outside the film world to all come in and collaborate on this project. And there's such a great foundation there for us to build on. It was a lot of fun kind of evolving those designs and making it feel more photorealistic, more visceral. I wanted the movie to feel like we had been pulled into the computer and we shot it with motion picture cameras on the inside. As far as 3D goes, this film just seems perfectly suited to it. We use the new generation of the Fusion camera system developed by James Cameron. We used a newer generation camera than the camera used on Avatar, the Sony F-35, and it just creates such a beautiful image, and I'm really happy with the decision to go 3D because it is a lot more work. It does cost more, especially when you do it the way we're doing, a true 3D movie shot with two cameras. All the visual effects are finished for both eyes. It's a really tedious process, but I think it pays off in the end.
I had a question for Mr. Bridges. It's not commonplace for such a big gap between films in a franchise. What was your reaction when this first came across to you that there was going to be a sequel?
Well, I had heard, rumors that there was going to be a sequel to Tron for many years, maybe 20 years, and I kind of gave up on it. And then all of a sudden, this script showed up, and Disney had kind of had it on its back burners, and they were not satisfied with the script, and so they waited, and I'm so happy they did because we got a good script, and also they held out to find the right guy to be at the helm, and with Joe, I think they really found a terrific leader. Because, as he was saying, coming from architecture, it's always interesting where a director comes from, whether he's a writer or an actor, and to have an architect be at the helm of this one was terrific. And he had, he was really up to date with all of the modern techniques that we have in special effects and everything. So he was a great leader, and I loved working with him. He's terrific with actors. So, when we got all that package together and they presented it to me, I said, "Oh, this sounds like something I would love to do." And it also, just like the first one, it tickled the kid in me, to be sucked inside a computer, and play with all the new toys that we have available to us, and that kind of cutting edge. To be involved with something so cutting edge was very exciting to me.
Yeah, when the first Tron came out, words like virtual world and internet were almost unknown to the general public.
Yeah.
And now we almost live more in the virtual world than in the real world with Facebook and social networking. So how are you planning on impressing the public that has probably seen it all when it comes to internet?
That's not going to be a problem. You'll find out pretty soon. The look of Tron is unique. It's one of the strongest things about it. And there is a sense, now that it's moved into the next generation, that it really is sort of a founding myth for an entire generation. And it's almost like it's been held back. And now, when it came back, you feel all the energy you missed over the last 25 years.
Yeah, Micah was talking about CGI, but we didn't do any CGI.
Oh yeah, we did.
Oh yeah, there was CGI?
We called it CG, and then it became CGI.
Oh, see, Micah, no.
No.
Okay.
It's funny, on the first film, it felt like we were doing 3D, because we came from a world of 2D filmmaking, 2D animation, and when we did the light cycles and the grid and the world of the first film, was the first time we realized we were going to have to render this stuff inside the computer in 3D. And I kept thinking, wow, we're doing all this work that people aren't going to see. They're not going to see the other side, which is actually there. So that was the beginning of 3D for me back then.
But it was so funky. I mean, it was we were working with not even black velvet, just black duplicate, right? And white adhesive tape. That was what the inside of that world was made. And then it was all shot in 70mm black and white, and then sent to Korea for a bunch of ladies to hand tint.
Artists will boldly go where no man has gone before.
So, hello. After talking about all this technology and perhaps the legacy that Tron will leave us as far as technology, what other legacy will this movie leave for this generation of fans, this new generation of fans? Is it another frontier in cyber post-production technology, or is it actually simply something as the message in the movie?